Resurrection F. The F stands for fan service. Or at least that's what it seems like it's supposed to be, right? I mean, they brought back Frieza, so what other purpose could it be except for to get the old fans into the new shit? But this movie didn't really deliver on that, did it? I mean, from the 4-month training thing to collecting Frieza's pieces to bring him back to the Deus Ex Machina at the end, this movie had a lot of issues, and it probably reminded more people why they stopped watching Dragon Ball Z than bringing anybody back into it. So, let's fix it. This is my pitch for Dragon Ball Resurrection F. We open up on Panchi walking through Capsule Corp, and right off the bat, I know what you're thinking. Fuck this guy and fuck his pitch, he's just making up characters now. But no, Panchi is Bulma's mom. That's right, the creepy Stepford wife, it has a name. And high five to anybody out there who knew that. Just put your hand down. She finds Dr. Briefs and asks where everybody's at, and he informs her that Gohan and Krillin came to take the boys out to an amusement park, that Vegeta and Goku are off doing their Dragon Ball Super thing with Beerus, and that Bulma took Yamcha to go shop for clothes. With her eyes firmly closed and her wonder bra pulling a double shift, she asks Dr. Briefs where the Dragon Balls are. He hesitates at first, but is expertly thwarted by his cock when she gives him a kiss on the cheek. She gathers all the Dragon Balls and summons Shenron. Shenron does his whole dragon thing where he asks, "What do you want?" And she says, "I wish for," and in that moment her eyes thin to that iconic Dragon Ball slit, and her voice goes full Dr. Girlfriend as she says, "The resurrection of Lord Frieza." Smash cut to title. Open on scenes of each of the Z fighters. Goku and Vegeta are off with Beerus doing Goku and Vegeta shit. Goten and Trunks are off with Gohan and Krillin at an amusement park. Goten's having the time of his life, Trunks wants to punch things. And Yamcha and Bulma are off buying clothes, Yamcha's bitching about it, and Bulma's like, "Hey, Vegeta's been wearing the same shit for 10 years, you're the only guy with fashion sense, fucking help me." Yamcha starts bitching at Bulma about having to buy clothes for somebody that he hates when all of a sudden, he notices something in the sky. A fucking dragon. Segue over to Panchi, and Shenron's all like, "Your wish has been granted," and all of a sudden, boom, Lord Frieza, stage 1. Like, you know, MODOK Lord Frieza. Frieza is understandably confused about what the hell is going on when Panchi's deep-ass voice suddenly says, "Lord Frieza," and kneels before him. He turns around, recognizing the voice, but not the power level because he can't sense those things, and says, "Ginyu?" "Yes, my lord," Panchi's deep-ass voice says, and Frieza's like, Why are you in that human?" At this point, we go into Panchi/Ginyu's backstory. You see, Ginyu's been hopping around Capsule Corp as a frog for the past decade or so, just kinda waiting until people were gone. At which point Panchi would be alone, and all of a sudden this frog would just come up and start irritating her over and over again, hopping on her, hitting her with his tongue, croaking, doing everything imaginable to get her attention. Until one day her brain cell activates and she decides to go and get the translator that Bulma used on Namek and hook it up to the frog. One body change later, bada bing, bada boom, bada Frieza. "Very clever, Ginyu," Frieza acknowledges when Shenron does his thing and he's like, "Hey bitch, you got 2 more wishes." Ginyu remains kneeling and he's like, "Hey, they're all yours, Lord Frieza," and Frieza's like, "Thanks, big guy." So Frieza turns back to Shenron and he's like, "I want the power of a god." Shenron informs him that this is going to take up both of his wishes, and Frieza is cool with it. For an instant, Frieza flashes gold and then goes back to normal as Shenron disappears and the Dragon Balls fly away. Ginyu, still kneeling on the ground, starts stammering out, "Lord Frieza, why wouldn't you get immortality?" To which Frieza responds, "If I were immortal, sure, I wouldn't be able to die, but I also wouldn't be able to eradicate the monkeys." Ginyu seems a little bit upset and Frieza picks up on this and he's all like, "Why, Ginyu? You weren't planning on trading bodies with me, were you?" Ginyu starts backpedaling. No, Lord Frieza, I would never do that! Inconceivable!" Ginyu knows that Frieza is suspicious now, so he tries to change, but Frieza blasts him through the chest and he goes down. We pan up and see Bulma and Yamcha arriving in the capsule copter, and Bulma's all like, is that my fucking mom? Land this fucking thing! Yamcha's like, "Oh, I don't want to, I see there's death down there." Immediately, Bulma runs out and goes straight to her mother, while Yamcha sees Frieza and shits himself. Yamcha prepares to fight, and by fight I mean die, when all of a sudden Green Day, Third Eye Blind, and Pennywise appear from the sky like a flying warp tour. Tien's all like, "Hey guys, we sensed a really big power source while we were training, so we headed on over and oh my god!" Piccolo and Frieza then see each other and immediately start fighting while bantering about what happened back on Namek. It looks like Piccolo has the upper hand until Gohan, Krillin, Goten, and Trunks show up. Before any of them can even take in what's happening, Frieza sees Gohan and has an immediate flashback to him getting in his guts back on Namek, so he makes a beeline straight for him. Gohan backs off for a second and tells Trunks and Goten to get the fuck out of there, but they're stupid kids and they want to fight the pink weirdo, so Trunks rushes in, followed by Goten. At first it looks like they're doing really well until Frieza notices Goten and has a fucking World War II flashback to Goku.
They took my shins!
Frieza immediately goes final form and starts beating the crap out of these kids like he's daddy of 5. Gohan tries to intervene, but Frieza smacks him back to puberty, and Piccolo's like, what the hell, how is he taking on 3 Super Saiyans right now? He couldn't even take on 1 at Namek! Frieza tells him that he's been training in hell for over a decade for this very moment, and then goes back to beating up a bunch of children to the point where Krillin almost calls CPS. And by beating up a bunch of children, I mean he smacks away Gohan and Trunks and just beats the ever-loving shit out of Goten. The two get enough space to back off, and Goten's like, that's okay, we have a final form too, Fusion Dance! And Frieza's all, hell nah, and shoots them both through the chest with his finger lasers. Gohan sees him go down, and he turns to Clowny Boom Boom, and he's like, you, go to Corns, get a bunch of Senzu Beans. Gohan then tells Yamcha to get Bulma the fuck out of there, which he does, against her will. Piccolo and Gohan decide enough is enough, and they double team Frieza, prison style. Frieza gets a little bit of distance, and he's all like, fools, I have the power of a god now, you can't handle this! And Piccolo's like, yeah, welcome to the club, bitch. Frieza starts powering up to gold when from downtown, Krillin comes in and starts whipping that ass. Frieza's like, what the hell, a puny human? And Krillin's like, yeah bitch, last time you powered up, my fucking chest exploded. But it doesn't take long for Frieza to get his bearings back together and pimp smack the fuck out of Krillin. But hey, he had a badass moment. Piccolo and Gohan get back into the fight when Clowny Boom Boom shows back up with 5 Senzu Beans. Gohan turns to him and tells him, hey, give the kids those Senzu Beans, but just then, Frieza shoots a fucking laser at him and Piccolo's like, my son, no! He jumps in the way, gets shot through the chest. Gohan has his own non-flashbacks and freaks the fuck out. He instantly powers up to Mystic Super Saiyan Gohan, whatever the fuck it's called mode, and starts getting in Frieza's ass. Meanwhile, Clowny Boom Boom and Tien are giving out all types of Senzu Beans. Piccolo's eating his when all of a sudden from behind him he notices Goten and Trunks are already up and have already fused into Gotenks. Frieza, cocky a second ago, now realizes that there's no way in fuck he can beat this kid, so he powers up to gold. With the two of them now up, Krillin and Tien join the fight and now it's a 5v1. Krillin charges up a Destructo Disc and sends it flying to Frieza, but Frieza smacks it away with his tail and sends it flying right back. Gohan tackles Krillin out of the way and the two hit the ground when Krillin looks up and sees something in the sky. The useful people are here! From the sky descend Goku and Vegeta, and now the real fight can begin. They touch down and Goku tells everybody to leave, but before they do, Clowny Boom Boom gives them their last 2 Senzu Beans. Vegeta is all about that vengeance life, but Goku is Goku, so the two Rochambeau for it, and Goku wins. You know, cause Goku is Goku. Goku toys with Frieza for a while, electing to not even go Super Saiyan God Blue, Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Blue, Dabu D, Dabu Die, and starts talking about how Frieza doesn't understand his power and that he's weaker because of it, before Frieza loses his shit and starts finger blasting everything like he's at an orgy. Goku starts instant transmissioning around, dodging everything pretty easily, but while he's practicing his dicking around, Frieza charges up his World Destroyer bomb and shoots it at Earth. Goku instant transmits under it, but while he's trying to stop it, Frieza teleports behind him and finger fucks him in the heart. Beerus shows up and Bulma's like, hey, you big purple pussy, get in there and help out. But Beerus is all, nah fam. So Goku eats the Senzu Bean and Frieza starts freaking the fuck out like, oh, go ahead, eat all the Senzu Beans you want. I don't give a fuck, I'll just kill all you fucking monkeys over and over and over. Goku goes Super Saiyan Blue, Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Blue God, Super Saiyan Blue, no red, just blue God mode, and tells Vegeta that he was right, that the time for games is over and it ends here. But before he can do anything, Vegeta comes in from behind and neck chops him to Sleepy Town. Goku goes down and everyone's all like, WTF mate, and Frieza smiles thinking he's got this in the bag. Vegeta takes out the last remaining Senzu Bean and tosses it to Frieza, telling him to eat it. Frieza eats the Senzu Bean and Vegeta goes into his whole entire spiel. You killed my family, my planet, my father! Kakarot does not get to have this! The two banter for a while, and then for the next 10 minutes they go into a hard-fought battle. And by hard-fought battle, I mean Vegeta uses Frieza's body as a weapon to assault the Earth with. He absolutely wrecks his ass for 10 solid minutes, and Frieza can't believe it, but belief isn't required when facing off against a god. So Vegeta big bangs his ass back to hell. And I'm not talking about the attack. Beerus remarks that Frieza was nearly as powerful as he himself, but that he didn't know how to use his power. He also reflects on how powerful Vegeta's become. Bulma cries about her mom while Krillin tries to comfort her, saying that they'll just wish her back in a year with the Dragon Balls. But then, a frog with a box on its throat comes hopping up and says, hey honey, what's wrong? And then it hits her. My mom is a frog? Cut to credits. The through line to Resurrection F seems to be power gained versus power earned, and by bringing back Ginyu, who is a real threat even if he's not super strong and gains his power in a similar way to Frieza, I think that helps drive that point home. Plus, Frieza wishing for the power to kill Goku, as opposed to training for 4 months, makes a hell of a lot more sense. Coupling that with some fan service like the references to Namek or making Panchi, you know, worth something, might be more in line with what the older audience might actually want to see. But those are just my thoughts on it. What, if anything, would you have changed, or would you have just kept it the same? And also, is there anything that you might want to see me try to fix in the future? Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll catch you guys next time.